All right, so I never go live Saturdays, but I thought I would just do it because I missed my Friday live stream, and my goal is to still go live twice a week. Even though I got a new job now, I still want to go live twice a week. So I'm going live today. Audio should be good. I'm gonna just post to my Telegram channel that we are live. If you guys are new, I do have a Telegram channel. Feel free to join that. I'm trying to get that more active, but there's probably about 50 people in there currently. So feel free to join that. And I'm going to post it there, and then I'm going to get started with this live stream. I just decided to do it spur of the moment. Why not? There's a few things I want to talk about today. Definitely Bitcoin, and see where the price is going to go. And if you guys have any requests for other coins, put them in the comments after this video is over. I'll look at them if you guys aren't, if you don't join the live stream. So kind of right now for Bitcoin, I'm looking what we're in a symmetrical triangle right now. I'll get to that in a second though. I'm actually going to also go live on TikTok. So, alright, so right now, the liquidity on Bitcoin, there's kind of a glare. I got to get rid of that glare. Right now, oh my God. Right now, my phone would stay up. That would help. Right now, the liquidity for Bitcoin, where's that? So right now, Bitcoin's at $19,100. I'm really zoomed in on the liquidity chart. But you have some up here at 19,250, some down here at 19,000. But you can see that there's a lot of liquidity at 19,000. We're getting really tight, so it's not really giving you a clear direction. Now, when you zoom out, there's more at like 19,000. So that's only $100 lower. And then if you zoom out a little more, we have $18,000 as liquidity. So there's still a good chance that we go down to $18,000 here in the next few days. I think the lowest we got, we actually went down to 18.2 when the Fed hiked the rates from 8 to 7. When the Fed raised the points, 75 basis points, if I can remember how to say it. Bitcoin went all the way to 19.9 and then came down to 18.2. It was crazy, all in like a few minutes. So we did technically go to 18.2 already, but there's still liquidity down there. Still more to get filled. So 18,000 I still think is very much on the table coming up. But short term, I think for the rest of the weekend, just because there's not a lot of liquidity in the markets on the weekends, I say my guess is that the range for the next few days, or at least tomorrow and tonight, is between 19,000 and probably 19.5, and that's about it. So I am looking at the symmetrical triangle right now on Bitcoin. The measure move to the upside is 20,500. So that would be a big move to the upside. And the measure move to the downside would be 17.5. So that would be how you get down to 17.5 if it breaks to the downside. These break up and down 50% of the time, so it's 50-50. They're not bullish. They're not technically bearish, but they do get a big move whenever they move out of a certain area. So let's go to the daily chart and work our way down the time frames. The daily chart has reset on the RSI around 20. The 4-hour chart is neutral around 70, and the 1-hour chart on the RSI is neutral around 70 as well. So overall, RSI probably could reset a little bit more in the 4-hour chart as well as the 1-hour before we get a big move. And we probably don't get a big move until Monday or Tuesday of this upcoming week because it's the weekend. But, something crazy could happen. The latest I would expect a huge move, though, would be probably the 25th, early days. So it's probably going to happen by Monday night, the very, very, very latest. So for a big move to the upside or downside. Measure move is 20,500 to the upside, and like I said, 75 to the downside, which would either be a huge double bottom or it'd be a huge support zone before we fall to the next, make it lower low. So 75 would be very huge support if we break to the downside. I just looked at this coin called TSUKA coin. I haven't done a video on Jasmine today, but I don't think there's a lot to talk about. It's still bearish in my opinion. And that's kind of that. It's just not doing anything exciting. It's just continuing to make new lows. And while we're in a bear market, especially Bitcoin makes a new low below 75 and the symmetrical triangle breaks to the downside, I'm expecting Jasmine to continue falling lower. So I'm not bullish on Jasmine. I think the hype has died around it just because it keeps going lower. But I'll keep making videos on it if you guys want me to. But it's just not, there's nothing bullish on it right now, unfortunately. So If you guys have any requests, let me know. I just want to hop on here real quick, tell you where I think Bitcoin is going, and I'm not going to say where it's going. I'm just going to give you the measured moves to the upside and downside based on, because right now, technically, it's not in a bullish or bearish pattern. It's a 50-50 shot. So I just gave you the targets. We'll see what happens come Sunday night into Monday probably. So let's see if there's any requests. How's it going? I can look at ETH. Yep. So Ethereum is the one request we have right now. Let's go look at Ethereum and go from there. All right. Moving on to the Ethereum chart. Ethereum right now here on the daily chart. And let me zoom out a little bit. Daily chart is still very much in a downtrend, but you're trying to get the bounce here on the RSI. The 4-hour chart is topped out, so look for a move down short term as well as the 1 hour. So overall, the 4-hour chart and lower don't look bullish to me, and kind of let's see what this is doing. Kind of the same thing Bitcoin's doing to some extent. It's a little bit of a bigger, it's kind of playing out, it's taking longer to play out than Bitcoin is. But it's technically still the same thing, which is a symmetrical triangle. It would look more like a symmetrical triangle if you did it like this for Ethereum. But you can technically move it all the way over here. So overall, symmetrical triangle. Let's get the measured move. So you take it from the top of the chart to wherever the bottom was previously. Which would be right there. If Ethereum was to break to the upside, which I have my doubts about based on what Bitcoin's doing, but if Bitcoin breaks up, so will Ethereum. Measured move is basically 2460. If you take it to the downside, the measured move would be about $150. So, you know, I think that might be a little extreme. I don't see it going that low unless Bitcoin's going back to $4,000, which I guess there's that slight chance that happens. I just definitely don't see that happening. So I would say technically long term, this target up here is way more realistic on the daily time frame of about 2460, but then $150. So, but those are the measured moves for Ethereum. I think $150, like I said, is unrealistic at this point, unless like that was going to happen in a year, which that could happen. But overall, I don't see that happening. Sorry, my phone fell. So I would say it's more likely we come up to 2460 before we go to 150. But you know, that's just the measured moves I got. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, do these measured moves make sense? I would say in this case, probably for Ethereum, not so much. So maybe we just scratch this pattern that we're looking at right now. But yeah, that's kind of it. So I would say short term though, because the 4-hour chart is so overbought, you still could come down a little bit lower to the bottom of this pattern, and that would be around $1,200. So not much lower. And then you could get another bounce up here to the top of the pattern, which would be around 1560. And you probably do that a few times before you have a huge breakout to the upside or downside. So that's kind of it for Ethereum. I think Bitcoin is in a better pattern. Like they're both symmetrical triangles, but I think the targets for Bitcoin are a lot more realistic than what we're looking at for Ethereum right now. So short term, I'm looking for Ethereum to come lower because the 4-hour chart is overbought. It's really that simple. I don't see it going below $1,200 though, so probably a bounce around that level would make the most sense to me. So that's your short-term analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you guys enjoyed this video, appreciate if you hit that like button, especially if I'm going over the coins that you guys request. I appreciate that. If you share the video, whatever you guys want to do. My next scheduled live stream will be Monday. It's probably going to be like 8 p.m. Central Time. So that's my next. That's when I plan to go live next. If I have to change it for any reason, I will tell you guys in the Telegram group. So be sure to get in that group so that you guys can stay up to date of when I'm going live or when I need to change it to. But I will be going. I still go live twice a week, so that's my goal: twice a week, every week. So with that being said, if there's any more requests, I'll look at them. How high can it go in the next 4 hours? Well, you're overbought right now for Ethereum on the 4-hour chart. Technically, this could get pinned. The RSI could stay at 100 and just go sideways like this. I've seen this happen before. The RSI right now, if we zoom in, right? Hold on. So let me make sure you guys can see it on TikTok. So this is the RSI, right? Up here at 99. But I've seen it where it just does this, for a few hours before then coming down. So it could, for a few hours, like I said, just stay up here and be pinned, which means the price is pushing higher. But 9 times out of the 10, when it gets pinned, it's pinned for 1 or 2 candles, and then it starts coming down. But it could happen for a whole day before it starts coming down. So technically, there's no set price it could go to. I mean, the top of the chart pattern, or top of the channel, is up here at 1650, 1600. So technically it could go all the way up there, but that would take a lot of strength. And I don't see it going that high based on, at least not yet. I think the forward chart would have to reset before that happens, but that would be the highest I would see it going. I don't think it even gets remotely close to that. Right now it's at 1344. If we get above 1400, I'd be surprised here if we did that in the next few hours. But so realistically, I wouldn't be going long right now, so I don't think it matters how high it gets. I would just be, if anything, I'd be short right now based on the 4-hour chart. I don't trade Ethereum, but if I did, I would be looking for a short right now to the downside of around $1,100 to $1,200. So that's kind of it for Ethereum. Yep, so I just did that coin, TSUKA, and I posted it on my channel on YouTube, so you can go check it out. I posted it. It should be posted now. I posted that like, I don't know, right before I started the stream, so it should be up, should be live. So I did post that for you. So if there's any other requests besides the one I just did, or besides Ethereum and Bitcoin and Jasmine, because those are the 4 we've gone over. Well, I guess in the live stream we've gone over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Jasmine, but I just went over TS, whatever that coin is, like probably 20 minutes ago. So that's kind of that. That's yep, no problem. Explain volume profile. So I don't use volume profile a lot, but basically short term, or in short, it means where all the orders are. But that's why I use Bookmap. Now for Bookmap, you can only use it on Bitcoin, but that's all I'm trading recently with how bad the markets have been. So basically, the VPVR is the same thing, or whatever the wording is. VPVR is the same thing as this. If you see a huge green dot, let me make sure you guys can see it. If you see a huge green candle like this, or a huge green, that means there's a lot of orders down here, a lot of buy orders down here, and usually the price goes to where all the liquidity is. That's why the other day I said Bitcoin was going to 18,000. I didn't think it happened in like a 5-minute candle, but we went down to 18.2, and that's because that's where all the orders were. So when there's more orders in one area, that's usually where the crypto prices go on any asset. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin. So short term, you can see there's a lot of liquidity, or a lot of orders down here at 19,000. Between 19,000 and 19,100. That's kind of where we're at right now. There's a very good chance we probably come down to 19,000 before we go back up, just because there's a little more orders down here at 19,000, 19,100 than there is up here at 19,200 and 19,250. So that usually, wherever there's the most buy orders or sell orders, that's usually where the price of the asset goes, and that's exactly, even though it's not on Bookmap, that's exactly what this indicator is. I don't use this one really because I have Bookmap, but that's telling you where all the orders are at. So, and I think if you're doing more of swing trades, it still helps, but you don't. I would say this is really only needed. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, you only would really need this if you're day trading an asset. So I think Bookmap is a lot better than the VRVP or whatever, however you say it. So, anyways, that's what it is. Market makers need liquidity to make sense. I think XO charts and heat maps? Oh, do I use them? I don't use XO charts. I don't even know what that is. But heat maps is kind of like what we just went over, I believe. So, but I don't personally use heat maps particularly. No, I just use Bookmap, and that's the main one I use, really. I mean, if I deleted this indicator, I could still trade just fine, because I really don't use this, because on this chart, I don't even think it is on there. Okay, well, I've had it on there, I just don't notice it, because I don't use it. But I guess technically that they're saying that there's a good chance we come up here based on this indicator Bitcoin's coming up to 19.8. That's where all the orders are. So, I mean, there's a chance we come up to 19.8. That would mean that you'd have to break to the upside out of this pattern. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So with that being said, guys, if there's any other requests, let me know and I'll look at the coins. But otherwise, I just wanted to do a quick live stream. I'll be back live on Monday. Unless anything changes, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram group. I appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, or on follow if you guys are on TikTok. But if there's no other requests, I'm going to end the YouTube live stream. I will plan on being back here Monday. If anything changes, like I said, I'll let you guys know. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks, guys, for joining. And I will